So it's currently about 10 p.m. on the night of September 3rd, and the UCS Death Star is not supposed to be revealed until September 4th at like 9 a.m. tomorrow, I think. But this website, Bricktastic, I think a German website, just posted a handful of pictures early, out of nowhere. And as you can see, these are mainly the lifestyle images, I think that's what LEGO calls them. Basically just like the actual in-person images of the set, where there's not like the renders with the white background, you know. And obviously tomorrow morning, when all the pictures come out, I'll make another video going over them that's actually, you know, a more formal video. But since these ones just released, I wanted to hop on here and get my thoughts on them. First up here, we have the actual box, a good image of the box, not a leaked image. And I'm not gonna lie, I have mixed feelings on this thing. I think it looks kind of tacky, actually. I think the front image looks incredible with the red in the background of the Death Star and then the actual angle of the build. I think that looks amazing. But what's throwing me off is all the minifigures at the top and then the picture on the left, which literally shows that it's just a sliver. It looks kind of ridiculous. I think all three of these images kind of just clumped on here together makes it look a bit tacky. I mean, it's definitely not the end of the world, but it just, compared to other UCS boxes, it just doesn't look as clean to me. And then down here we have a better image of the actual model, but we've seen this before. Here we have the back of the box with multiple images of all the rooms inside the Death Star, and then this awesome image right here on the left of the actual Death Star itself. And then the dimensions down here, which you can probably read better if I do this. Looks like it says 31 inches wide, 10 inches, 10.5 inches deep, and 27.5 inches tall. So pretty much exactly what I said in my leak video. It's a pretty big model. But back to this box art, again, there's just a lot going on. I think each individual side of the box looks good, like this really good picture right here, and then the picture of all the interiors of the Death Star, and then the picture of the minifigures. But when it's all clumped together, it's just making the box look pretty tacky, especially on the front right here. I don't know, I feel like I'm just yapping about this too much. At the end of the day, the box doesn't matter, but compared to other UCS boxes, it just looks like there's a lot going on. But next up here, we have an image of the dude building the set, and this is actually kind of a bizarre looking image, I'm not gonna lie, how the Death Star is just cut in half like this. But I mean, I guess this is how the build process is gonna be. You're literally just most likely gonna build it from bottom to top, I guess. It's just interesting to see it kind of half complete like this. And then in this next image right here, you get to see it kind of laying down on its back, and I guess this means that at least the back side of it is flat to where you can lay it down or put it up against a wall or something. Here we have an up close shot of the hangar bay, and I like the wall in the back, how it kind of looks like you're looking out into space. That's cool. And then you get a better look at the Imperial shuttle right here, which I mean definitely isn't the most appealing Imperial shuttle LEGO has made. It's just a dumbed down kind of micro scale one, but I'm glad they tried to include it at least. It's the thought that counts, I guess. It just doesn't look very good. Then we have some stormtroopers and then the C-3PO and R2-D2, the C-3PO that should have a dual molded leg. And then right here you have this pit, kind of like those bottomless pits that are always in the Death Star hangars and in other capital ships in Star Wars for some reason. I think it's really cool that LEGO included this here, and it does pull off the illusion that it just goes down pretty deep, so that's cool. But unfortunately, I assume that these are just stickers on the sides. Right here is the lights, and same thing with this control room up here at the top. It looks really good, but knowing the current state of LEGO Star Wars, I'm just gonna go ahead and assume that not a single piece in here is printed. Even for $1,000, I bet these are all stickers, but at the very least, I mean, it looks cool from far away. In this next picture right here, you have the throne room with Luke and Darth Vader up here fighting, and this looks almost identical. Well, it does look pretty much identical to the diorama that came out in 2023. However, I'm pretty sure this is slightly smaller. I think the archway at the top is a little bit smaller, but to the untrained eye, it looks exactly the same as the diorama, which I honestly don't think is a bad thing because that diorama looks really good, so I'm glad they made it look good in this set too. In this next picture right here, you have the meeting room with Admiral Yularen, Grand Moff Tarkin, Darth Vader, Admiral Piet or Piet, I think this is him, and that's however you say his name, and then Admiral Tage or Tage, however you say his name too. It's nice to see that we're actually getting some named Imperial officers we haven't gotten before, or at least to my knowledge, we haven't gotten before, but they don't have dual molded legs, and usually I wouldn't complain about this. I don't really care that much about dual molded legs, but this is a $1,000 set, so I'm going to point out every single flaw that I can find because you're paying $1,000 for this thing. Literally everything should be perfect, so these guys should have dual molded legs. Same with C-3PO. Again, usually I wouldn't care, but this time I do care. And then here we have the trash compactor. It's kind of crammed down here in the bottom left side of the build, and unlike the Emperor's throne room, you can clearly tell this is not the same design as the diorama of the trash compactor, but it still looks decent, I guess. I actually do wish they could have made this a little bit bigger, but this is fine. And there's a gear down here in the bottom left, so I assume you can probably twist that and the walls will close somehow. Then over here on the right, you're going to have a stormtrooper entering the elevator with a sticker right here. Like I said, I doubt there's going to be many printed pieces in this set, unfortunately. And then moving on, this picture right here. This picture kind of made me had an epiphany about this thing. Epiphany, however you say that word. But as you guys know, I've kind of been defending the design choice of this set. I've made multiple shorts and multiple TikToks TikToks and multiple other YouTube videos kind of saying how I like the design of it. And that's because, well, in this picture, the first picture we saw of it leaked, the box art, it looks really good. In this angle, it looks amazing. I love how they pulled it off right here. You can clearly tell it's the Death Star. It looks incredible. The laser on the front looks really, really good. But then I saw this picture right here, wherever it's at, where the actual front of the laser is kind of semi out of sight, and you mainly just see the interior and the backside. And I was like, oh my gosh, this does not look that good at all. It legitimately is only going to look good from one angle, and that angle is going to be what's shown in the box right here. And I can't believe that when I first saw this image, I didn't think of that. I was just like, oh my gosh, this set looks great. But the fact that it's not going to look good from the backside did not even cross my mind at all. But now that I see this image right here, I'm like, oh my gosh, this thing's only going to look good from one angle. Which is really disappointing because this is a $1,000 set. It should be the absolute centerpiece of someone's LEGO collection, and a centerpiece should look good from every angle, like the UCS Venator, the UCS Star Destroyer, the Razor Crest, the Falcon, whatever you name it. All of those sets look really, really good from every angle, and they're definitely centerpiece sets, but this one is only going to look good from this left sort of front side angle right here, which is just not good. I mean, when you walk into a room, this thing should look perfect from every angle, but if someone walks into a LEGO room and they just see the back side of this build, it's gonna look pretty lame, which again is very disappointing for a $1,000 set. And again, I've defended the design choice of this set like crazy, but I really never realized that it's only gonna look perfect from this angle. It's not gonna look good from the backside angle, wherever that picture's at. See, it's not gonna look good from this angle. But anyways, continuing on, here we have another picture of the Imperial Shuttle. As you can see, again, not a very appealing build. This top middle wing definitely looks a bit funky. It looks like they cut it off too soon. Like this slope part right here should go up a bit further. And the reason they did this is probably so it can fit inside the hangar, which makes sense and is valid, I guess, but like this, it doesn't look that great. And then continuing on, oh my gosh, and this TIE Fighter right here is the GWP. Remember a few weeks ago, I posted on my community tab that the GWP for this set was going to be a TIE Fighter. Well, yeah, this is it. It looks freaking awful. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. This is probably the worst GWP LEGO has ever made. It literally looks almost identical, if not worse than the 4+ TIE Fighter that came out in 2019. And I think this set is also going to include 2 stormtroopers. They're probably these 2 stormtroopers right here, and then a pilot, which I guess is on the inside. And that's just insane. It's like this build right here is supposed to win people over to buy this set within the first week of its release. This little 4+ TIE Fighter right here, like that's just ridiculous. This should have just been part of the set, and the GWP should have been something else. This is horrid. Like, again, this is probably the worst GWP LEGO has ever made, for Star Wars at least. Awful. Straight garbage. And then continuing on, here we have a pretty nice image of all the minifigures. I will start at the top here. You have a droid right here. I don't know what droid that is. Then you have R2-D2, who looks fine. And then you have the modern Darth Vader, which also looks good. Same with Ben Kenobi. And then you have C-3PO. That should be the dual molded leg C-3PO because he's literally in production right now in another set. You have Princess Leia, which looks fine. You have the purple dude. I forgot what these guys are called. They're like Emperor Palpatine's assistants or whatever, but it's really cool that they actually made this figure. I'm actually really excited to get this one. You have a protocol droid, Chewbacca, a Death Star gunner, 2 versions of Luke Skywalker, Emperor Palpatine, a female Imperial officer, which most likely should have dual molded legs as well, another Death Star gunner, Episode 6 version of Luke, Royal Guard, Han Solo, Admiral Yularen, who should have dual molded legs, all the Family Guy stormtroopers that have the awful helmets that LEGO has been using since 2019 and should make new ones already, Admiral Piet, whatever his name is, who should have dual molded legs, Galen Erso, who should have dual molded legs, Krennic, who looks perfect. I honestly can't tell if that's the same Krennic we got in 2016. It's probably not. It's probably a completely different Krennic. I don't know why I'm saying this, but it does look very similar to the original one we got. And if anyone is worried, I'm almost certain that this figure is not going to stay exclusive to this set. I think it's kind of a no-brainer that Krennic is going to appear somewhere in 2026, whether a microfighter or a playset, whatever. I don't think anyone should be worried about this being exclusive to this $1,000 Death Star. But continuing on, you have 2 more female officers, another Royal Guard, another officer, Episode 6 version of, wait, no, that's Episode 4 version of Han Solo, 2 Death Star gunners, and then Tarkin right here, and then Admiral Tage or Tag, whatever his name is. And both of these, again, should have dual molded legs. And then one figure you're going to notice is not in this image, and that is going to be the Hot Tub Stormtrooper. He's on the top of the box, but he's not in this image right here. And that's the one thing about these handful of images that we've gotten, is that none of them show where the actual hot tub is going to be, and none of them also showed the backside of the Death Star either. I guess we're going to have to wait until tomorrow morning to see those, but for now, this is all we've gotten, a little surprise handful of Death Star pictures that just got posted by this German LEGO website, bricktastic.com, shout out to them. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about these pictures down in the comments below, especially this TIE Fighter GWP, it looks absolutely terrible. If you're new, please consider subscribing, and if you want to check out more videos, you can see on the screen right now.